Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So, we have news. Besides the faulty alliance version, adaptive event quest, difficulty and future. So here we go. We're gonna read through it and then we're gonna kind of analyze. But okay. Thank you for your passionate feedback on the adaptive event quest. We hear your concerns about this difficulty and are actively working on adjustments for next month's quest. Both classic and elder difficulties will be tuned to offer more balanced and enjoyable experience. Currently testing these changes to ensure they meet your expectations and will share full details once they are finalized. We deeply appreciate your patience and commitment to Clash of Champions over the past week. We know we haven't hit the mark with this quest or our user experience in general since the launch of this update. Well, generous, but okay. We're committing to making things right. Thank you for your passion and dedication to the contest. Okay, so here we go. First, that is a good statement. As far as like something that someone can write to inform players, that statement's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. That is, a good worded out statement, says thank you, apologize, all that good stuff. So, fair enough. Not gonna harp on that too much. However, I do have questions. We're gonna start with this one. Thank you for your passionate feedback on the adaptive event quest. We hear your concerns about its difficulty and are actively working on adjustments for next month. Both classic and elder difficulties will be tuned to offer more balanced and enjoyable experience. We're currently testing these changes to ensure they meet your expectations. In theory, it's a perfectly innocent sentence. Right? There's nothing wrong with it. They have heard our feedback, allegedly, and they are preparing changes for the next month. And the next month quest is going to be different. It's going to be better. It's going to be more balanced. However, the one and simple question that I do have here is, first and foremost, what the fuck were we as a community doing for the last 4 months? Well, like 4 months of Valiant Gauntlet, which effectively is the Elder difficulty, where they tested a couple variants, and whenever they changed something, we gave our feedback to them. Everything that we say about this, effectively, we have been telling them for like 3 to 4 months. Right? So, like, that is like the big thing here. Where now they will do something in a month that they effectively refused to do for several months. And the difficulty concerns and everything else, like the overtuned HP and attack values, that kind of came out of nowhere. But when it comes to everything else surrounding the quest, the old nodes, the inability to use the champions and all that other stuff, like that had been told to them like immediately. Second thing is, Elder difficulty quest issues would kind of be obvious if they ever bothered to play through that quest themselves. Like, if they have several players playing for them with like good competitive accounts, right? The person making this post is a long-time player. Had he played through this piece of content, fully and properly himself prior to the release, he himself would immediately be able to identify a plethora of issues. Like, his champions dying from the mutant hazard shift, 90% bleed reduction combo, purely because of the overtuned attack values. Like, those tech quests where you need an armor or buff effectively and you need 15 champions ranked it, and with those attack values where you can barely use 6-star champions, just taking time to block down. So he would notice those things. And so would just about any other player who doesn't have his head stuck up his ass. Like, if you're playing this game on the regular, one playthrough by one player is what was needed to avoid much of this shit. I'll fix that. One playthrough from one player prior to the release of the content that has the balls to say something is not quite okay. That is it. So, additionally, effectively, we are in a place where Kabam tests something for 4 months, and then at the end of it, releases the worst version of it. Because they had Valiant Gauntlet number 1, we gave our feedback, then they adjusted a little bit. We had Valiant Gauntlet number 2, we had Valiant Gauntlet number 3, we had Valiant Gauntlet number 4, which, is fine. And every single time that was released, players were giving the feedback, the suggestions, and I refuse to believe that CCP players weren't giving the feedback and suggestions. And somehow, at the end of it, they come up with the worst variant of them all. They make something significantly worse. It's kind of like when you're optimizing car for a race, right? And you do the test drives. So you buy a car, whatever it comes from, I don't know, dealership, and you give it to test drive to one person, and they do it, and they says, all right, change the brakes, change the tires, and something like that, and they go through this process like 4 times, when a ton of people are telling them how to make it better, and at the end of the day, they fucking take the engine out, and it's the worst one it has been. It's like, how can you test something for that long, and they could end up with significantly worse version in every aspect than what you started with? Like, yeah, you go through an entire crafting, testing process, and you adjust everything, and then you end up with a fucking potato in your hand. It's like, this is stupid. It doesn't conform to any kind of logic that I have been introduced in this world with. The idea of testing, adjusting, and tweaking, and taking feedback is to make something better. It doesn't always work exactly, perfect, but objectively ending up with something worse in like every area is blithering levels of stupid. And then obviously the lack of testing. And now they said, it's like, now, okay, now we have heard you. Again, the statement's fine. What Kabam's going to do is fine. They will make it better. I'm sure the next month it is going to be more tolerable. But it doesn't change the way I feel about what the fuck has happened, because it's absolutely mind-blowing that this actually came live. And, the breakdown of logic, the breakdown of some sort of fail-safes, the absolute ignorance of every person involved from step 1 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5. The fact that at no point anybody played through this and told them that's like, you know what? There might be an issue. It's mind-blowing. It really is. The rewards being worse for a portion of the player base, for content that's, twice as long as it used to be, and significantly more shit. Like, this event quest effectively ended up being as hard, if not harder, than, like, Wheel of Fate. Which is meant to be, like, an Everest content, and was touted to be one of the hardest contents I have ever released. A lot of people are genuinely using more items for this than they did for Wheel of Fate. And this is just monthly content and monthly content rewards. There are no like full rank 4 in rewards or awakening gem shards or awakening gems or anything like that. No, there are awakening gem shards, but there's not a full awakening gem. You guys get the point. But hey, very good for them. I do wonder though, like, why did they completely give up on this month though? Is it not possible to reduce the health and attack now? Would it not be reasonable to send out a little appreciation package to the players who already have been playing through this content that they themselves are calling not balanced? Because by definition, if they're going to make it more balanced and enjoyable, then they are, acknowledging the fact that it is not balanced and enjoyable. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think, but hey, next month it's gonna be better. If not, then the month after that. And if not then by end of the year for sure. See you soon. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about